My name is Mark Nagus. I'm Technical Director for Lucas Oil Products. You're standing here in our laboratory. What we have here is we have an instrument referred to as a kinematic viscosity. This is where we measure viscosity of all our products. Viscosity is as oil's resistance to flow. This is probably one of the most important tests that we run on each and every one of our products. Quality is probably the foremost important thing that we do here at Lucas Oil is make quality product. When we come over here, we have two instruments here which are flash testers. We use these to measure the flash points of our products. In this case, this is flash points over 200 degrees F, which would be on your engine oils, your automotive ATFs, your gear oils, any industrial products. Extremely important test. This is referred to as a Penske Martin closed cup tester, and this is what we measure the flash point on products that are below 200 degrees F. And this is a little different than the Cleveland Open Cup, which is this tester here, in the fact that there's a rotor that turns very slowly, and it allows the fumes to be built up within this headspace, and then you introduce an ignition source and then to detect the flash, which is then reported on a hard copy. Okay. Now this is probably one of our newest pieces of equipment here. This is our X-ray fluorescence. This is where we measure metals on finished products as well as used metals on used engine oils. We also measure chlorine and the amount of sulfur in ultra-low sulfur fuel additives. And it's referred to as an X-ray fluorescence. This instrument here is our foam tester, and this measures the amount of foam that is generated in engine oils, automatic transmission fluids, industrial products. And what we do is we fill this graduate cylinder, which is this right here, up to 200 mLs, and then we introduce an air source. And what we do is we measure for a 5-minute period how much foam is generated, and then we remove the air source and then determine whether the foam actually dissipates over a 10-minute period. This is an extremely important test because you do not want to have air in your system. It creates cavitation and eventually wear. These two instruments here are referred to as a CCS, which is a cold cranking simulator, and then an MRV TP1, which is a mini rotary viscometer. This CCS measures the lowest temperature an engine oil can go down to, and you can still crank your engine. It's very important because, number one, you don't want to deplete your battery. You don't want to be stranded, and it also promotes wear. Once we determine that we can actually start an engine, then this test over here determines when you can actually pump the oil throughout the engine at a reduced temperature. And these are a few other pieces of instruments that we have. One is a colorimeter. This basically is used as a quality assurance tool. It's to make sure that the product that's on the shelf consistently has the same color between batches. That's very important because the customer, if they buy one product today and buy another product 2 months from now, they want to make sure it's the same color. So it's more of just an aesthetics issue. This instrument here is referred to as a tabletop density meter. This gives us measurements on density, API gravity, and specific gravity, which is just grams per milliliter. And this is an important test for when we're running product out on the production line. Everything is in milliliters, but we have to convert that over to grams when we fill product. It takes about 5 minutes or about 5 seconds to run this test. You inject the product into this port, and about 5 seconds later it gives you an actual density meter or density reading. And the last piece of equipment we have is a pH meter, and this is used for our water-based products that we're developing, and that's mostly for car care, for automotive. That'd be your tire shines, your interior detailer, your slick mist, speed wax. Like I said, quality is number one. That's what we base our company on, is quality of the product.